Now at 5, a story that's made headlines all around the country stemming from right here in Indiana. Manti Te'o claims he has been duped. Good evening. It was apparently a tragic love story that prompted a nationwide outpouring of grief for a college football star.
But now many are shaking their heads after news broke that the story of Manti Te'o and his girlfriend who died of leukemia was all a hoax. Topping the news tonight, Te'o's grandmother passed away last fall, and word spread that his girlfriend died just hours later. However, the sports blog Deadspin now says that girlfriend never existed. Deadspin says a friend of Te'o's is behind the hoax and does not rule out that the football player himself may have been part of the deception. Te'o released a statement saying he was duped into a fake online and phone relationship with a woman and that he is humiliated. Notre Dame officials fully support him.
It was a very elaborate, very sophisticated hoax. Manti was the victim of that hoax. Manti is the victim of that hoax.
Notre Dame officials say Te'o discussed the apparent hoax with them in late December before the national championship game against Alabama. The school says it decided not to contact police and left that up to Te'o. Well, in light of the hoax, we are digging deeper into this online trend.
It is called catfishing, and it's named after a documentary on these types of hoaxes. And as News Channel 15's Adam Widener explains tonight, it might be more common than you think. Adam?
Well, originally today, I set out to learn more about the online hoaxes and why so many people get involved in them. But the further I got in this story, I eventually discovered a familiar face posing in an unfamiliar profile.
Why would someone do a fraud like this? Who knows?
Catfishing is a term in which many of you may not be familiar. As an expert at IPFW explains, it's another sign of the age of social media.
As you get to know that person, you're sharing details. What you don't know is the person you have met, the person you're communicating with, is really not the person you think.
To give you a perfect example of how common catfishing is, I stumbled across this page in my research today. It says Adam Widener, it looks like Adam Widener, but it turns out this one's a fake. I don't speak Spanish, I'm not Dutch, and I'm not from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. It turns out someone took my pictures and used my information and created this page back in November. So for the past couple months, it's been a fake Adam Widener roaming around Facebook.
In a lot of ways, there really is no sense of what is real and what isn't.
And amid that confusion, IPFW psychology professor Michelle Druin says it's easy for some people to trust what's all a hoax.
They want to believe that they're worthy of those things. So the belief is, I think, really normal. Once you've established a connection and you believe that someone that you hold in high regard really thinks that you're great, you want to keep that. Why would you want to let that go?
Now, in case you're wondering, I will be reporting that fake Adam Widener to Facebook. Now, I asked that IPFW expert how people can tell the difference between a real and fake profile. He says if it's someone you don't know, he's not sure there's a real definitive way. Live in Studio 15, Adam Widener, News Channel 15.